Okay, finally I'm on the highest difficulty level, taking on the end boss. So, focus, and here we go. Savara is an isometric action roguelite, which feels like the combination of Hades and Monster Hunter, seeing us take on gigantic monsters, hit their weak points to reduce their strength, and take the acquired parts we chop off into the base to craft better gear for more successful boss fight. God damn it! So join me while we try to decipher if Savara is a real fun or a refund, before I can tell you to like and subscribe. Oh come on, I did it again! Summarizing this title is simple. We are Savara, a hair color fluid fighter, going through a combat focused festival to take down multiple bosses and reach the tournament's organizer, a god whose inspiration is rather clear.
I heard about a kid who tried to flee the kingdom of the dead to find his mother.
Stomping enemies or avoiding their stomps is done via the reaction heavy combat design, with dodge rolls, blocks, 6 different weapons and numerous run specific upgrading options. We delve into a room, beat the enemies there and pick the next room, or rather the reward we receive from that next section. With upgrades like bleeding effects, a shield we can build up, lightning strikes, or even a frenzy ability that stacks up and makes Savara hit the bosses more often than Henry VIII hit on women, we have plenty of options to choose from. Those impactful upgrades help us take care of our enemies in flashy ways, and with every beaten enemy we are rewarded with monster parts and a unique currency that helps us beef up Savara's power in the base. This base can be visited either by getting smashed by the mushrooms from Fantasia or by beating all bosses. Once in the base we have dialogue scenes to go through, an upgrading shrine that sees us unlock specific talents and badges, a workshop that combines the various monster parts into powerful gear, and a few other stations to provide us with individual bling. Finishing a run successfully sees us unlock the prestige system, giving us numerous ways to make the next run more difficult, until we clear out the whole story section or get frustrated enough to change the loadout into other powerful weapons. One of the main features dictating our game style and power is the armor and weapons we wear. With 5 gear pieces and 2 weapons equipped at the same time, we have numerous options. With a few armor sets to choose from, each having their collective benefit, the individual gear pieces provide their own boons as well. This sees, for example, the mushroom armor set healing us after every cleared room for 1 health for each piece we wear from that set, while the chest piece itself gives us a 5% damage reduction as an individual. With each set providing us with unique buffs we can mix and match to our liking and preferred fighting style. However, getting those pieces is not an easy task, since we have to beat the many enemies and stock up on enough monster parts to craft those items. Once crafted though, it is unlocked and can be swapped out every time we are in the base. The weapons on the other hand have one more great feature on top, with additional upgrades providing us with stronger benefits, and we even unlock new boons as well. Take the dragon focused items for example. Each weapon of that section provides us with a buff that lets us stun enemies quicker, which means they are lying down on the floor being easy targets to hit. The higher we upgrade those weapons, the stronger this stun effect gets, while depending on our chosen weapon, new effects are being unlocked. Providing even more customization options are the talents and badges we obtain, with the former being unlocked with a special currency, while the latter can be found throughout the levels, hidden behind sparkling walls. Badges are however far more than just simple items, since they can upgrade as well, with each badge having their own requirements and powerful results, helping us out in the numerous fights. Once we've picked our equipment, we delve into the actual levels of the game, pitting us against gigantic bugs, ferocious wolves and dragons that, well, they are dragons, you know, fire and stuff. With a limited amount of stamina, each action spends this resource, be it the combo, heavy or special attack, as well as the dodge roll and sprint we could use to avoid incoming hits. Luckily, Savara has a neat trick to regain a bit of stamina with a weapon swap, switching to the second weapon, regaining a bit of stamina, as well as slash, bash or block with this weapon, depending on our choice. Shield and sword, for example, provides us with a short block, making us immune to incoming hits, which helps out a ton against the large bosses we face after clearing out enough rooms. In between those we are rewarded with currencies to spend in the base or the merchant shop, or pick helpful power-ups split into various sections. Frenzy, for example, is a stackable buff that can be activated by our actions and provides us with a faster hitting animation, while Aftershock leaves a debuff on our targets, blowing up for the amount of damage we did during the debuff's duration. All those buffs are temporary for the current run and are lost once Savara's health runs out, but until then, stacking up specific boons and making them more powerful through continuous upgrades can help us really take care of business. The game, however, is far more than just simple hack and slash action, since each enemy faces us with stun gauge and destroyable parts, as well as a general weakness and strength, for example slashing, bashing, or what's the third one? Hacking? I don't know. Back to the stun gauge, which I mentioned before, with a lying down monster being the result of a filled bar, while the destroyable parts are monster specific and not only provide us with unique resources, but further lets us beef up our damage against that monster if we've picked the right badges and talents. Only mentioning the bare minimum of all the features hidden behind this title, Savara just oozes with brilliance in the combat and customization department. Each weapon feels distinct and unique, while swapping out gear pieces or even weapons from another type of school can be instantly seen and felt on the battlefield. With a humorous voice presentation, the few minor issues I've had with the game can be found in the lack of visual difference between the levels, the lack of a multiplayer because that would be amazing, and the lack of bosses, since I've only encountered 5 different kinds. Granted, those were challenging every time, but still a bit more variety could help out with the replayability. Now that we've talked about the game in depth, let's hit the clever machine and see if Savara is a real fun or a refund. And would you agree with that verdict? Do you clip or do you cut your nails? Let me know in the comments and have a great day or evening.